Greetings, my name is Karan Butler. I am a student at Baker College, and I am going to discuss the topic of e commerce, a topic that I learned about in my information system course over the 6 weeks. I decided to pick this topic to talk about because it's something I'm very fascinated with. We have the use of technology is becoming 100% utilized mostly from all types of people for different reasons. And being that I love technology and shopping online, I thought this would be a good topic to talk about. So this is the table of context of my presentation. We're going to start out with the what is e-commerce, the definition, the different types, the advantages and disadvantages, and also we're going to focus on my company Starbucks and how the e-commerce and for this business correlates with the topic as well. So what is e-commerce? So I like to break the definition up in two parts because e-commerce and commerce together kind of correspond with each other, but means different once you put the e and the commerce together. So commerce is the exchange of goods or service, something that I learned in my economics class. So you buy something, you receive something. You sell something, you receive currency. E-commerce is the transaction of basically purchasing goods or services through technology, through the internet. So it's transacting of facilitating business through the internet. And this diagram on my right shows the process of e-commerce. So, you typically start with you place an order, it goes to the shopping cart, and then you either select your method of payment. Most people, in some cases, you will use third parties such as PayPal or eBay that process this transaction. Once it's complete, it either gets shipped out or it starts in a warehouse and gets shipped out, and then usually the merchant will receive some kind of receipt or email confirmation that their order is complete. So some examples of e-commerce here. We're gonna dig in deep later on into my presentation, but here are a few of my favorites. Online e-commerce that I use. We have the NBA store up here. Apple is probably one of the biggest ones that I utilize as far as a C2C. Sorry, not a C2C, but a B2C, which you will learn more about in my presentation, where I purchase a lot of products from Apple through their iTunes. And here we on the right here we have PacSun. I love purchasing their clothing through the internet, utilizing their website to make my purchases. So there's different types of e-commerce. So the first one we're going to talk about is B2B, business to business. So what a business to business e-commerce is that it's a subset of e-commerce in which all participants are organizations. So kind of think of it as if you're a business, you're going to buy something from another business to help support your business. Since I worked at Starbucks, a good example is when I worked for the company as a leader, is that we did a lot of purchasing through vendors or other parties for the condiments. So when you go to Starbucks and you're utilizing or you're using the Splendas or the sugar or the Domino or Equal, Starbucks have to purchase that product in order to use it for their business. So that would be an example for business to business e-commerce. We when I was a leader, we had to make these orders through the portal um, for Splendas or the Whole Earth website to be able to get these items at a discounted rate for business to business. So the second one is business to consumer. So this is a form of e-commerce in which the customers deal directly with an organization to avoid the intermediaries. So a good example would be Starbucks website. So if I was a consumer or a customer and I wanted to purchase one of these mugs or tumblers, I would go to their website. Me as a consumer or customer would purchase the item from Starbucks website. So that's where the business to the consumer. The business will be Starbucks. Me as the consumer, I'm purchasing the item from the website of Starbucks to be able to give my money and to receive that product. So the next one we have consumer to consumer, which is C2C. This is a subset of e-commerce that involves electronic transactions between consumers using a third party to facilitate the process. So a good example would be eBay and PayPal. So if you're, if I'm a consumer who purchased something, I want to sell it. I'm going to utilize eBay, and hopefully whoever's the highest bidder, they will they will be selected to get this item for exchange of currency. So I will put this on the market. The highest bidder will be selected, and then I will go ahead and ship it out. They're gonna make their transaction and purchase it, and they're gonna receive it. This is a good chart here that explains the breakdown here, as I stated, where number one, you list the items on eBay, the higher bidders win. The buyer pays for the item plus shipping and handling fees. The reseller pays for the wholesale price plus downship fees. And then the downshipper sends the item to buyer with reseller's company's name and address. So this is a good diagram of how the C2C consumers to consumer e-commerce works. So we're going to actually talk about some of the disadvantages and advantages of the e-commerce. So some of the disadvantages is that there is a lack of personal touch. So if you're utilizing the website, you're not going to get much help unless you're technology savvy. You're not going to have a representative that's going to help you or guide you in the right direction to whatever your desire for as the product. Another disadvantage is the inability to experience the products before purchase. So that's a downfall when it comes to clothes. There are times when I purchase a shirt and I find out I didn't really like it when I saw it in person, or there was a case where I couldn't even fit it. So that's another downfall there. You also need internet access to be able to do internet commerce. So in order to be able to be a consumer that purchase items off their websites for businesses, you must have some kind of internet connection. And another downfall that I included in my PowerPoint is that sometimes there are a high chance of credit card fraud or security issues. I recently had a situation where my credit card and debit cards were compromised and hacked because of my habits of purchasing items off the website through the internet. So these are the disadvantages. Some of the advantages is that you're going to actually sorry about that. Sorry, the advantages is that it's easy to compare prices. So if you can go to one website to see how much something costs, you're able to go to another website to compare that price. And you end up picking which one is better, which one is the better deal. Another benefit is that access to stores remotely. I don't have to leave my home to purchase items and wait in long lines and drive waste of gas. It's savings on my end because I'm doing this remotely. There's no need for physical stores, so that's one of my reasons that I put this in my PowerPoint is that for businesses, if you have some kind of e-commerce, it's going to save you as the facilitator because you're not paying for lights, gas to keep a store running. You're operating everything through the internet. There's always more choices, in my opinion, when it comes to e-commerce. I can go to the store, my favorite store, Paxson's, and they don't have much variety. But if I go to the internet, they're going to have more inventory and more varieties for me to pick. Um, Also, the availability. The e-commerce is available 24/7. It doesn't close. It doesn't have a 9 to 5 or close at a specific time. If I want to purchase something, it's going to be there 24/7 right at the fingertips and click and I can purchase that album or sorry, purchase that product. So here's an example of Starbucks. We're going to focus on the Starbucks side of e-commerce. So Starbucks is one of the companies that I worked for a long time. I started out as a barista, moved my way to management, and Starbucks is now lately has been one of those companies that's want to be the lead innovators of technology. And the first thing that's basically surprises me is that their new innovation with the mobile application. Smartphones are a huge thing now. For this millennial and this generation is something that you can take pictures, you can make purchases. it's a MP3 player, it's a audio visual, it's everything we want and we need in a device. And Starbucks is taking advantage of the utilization of smartphones. So they have here in this diagram at the top, you see that you have the Starbucks card app downloaded on your phone, where you don't have to actually have a card. You could just download the application for free onto your device and to be able to make purchases at discounted price. When it comes to the e-commerce, the company Starbucks definitely take advantage of B2C, which is business to consumer. Now that they have this new innovation where customers can purchase their products through their website or through the app, and it would be basically a advance pay. So you make your purchases off the website or through the app. Your order will be ready, and you just have to pick it up. It's one of those things where it's a huge win for the company. And as you can see on this diagram here, this is the average monthly mobile orders and pay transactions that Starbucks have had since the launch in 2015. And as you can see, the numbers are not descending; they're actually increasing each year, which is great for the business when it comes to taking advantage of technology. Here go another diagram and more metrics of this e-commerce and technology information. Here is where you can be able to load your card and add money to your application and loyalty card through an app, and then be able to make your purchase through there. You don't even have to swipe. You could just scan and make your, if you are inside the store and decided you want to do a last minute purchase, scan it, and make your transaction that way. Or you will have to go to their website to purchase whatever you need far as advanced placement ordering. On the right here is my metrics again for the average weekly mobile transactions at Starbucks, and as you can see, the numbers have been going up. Again, this is something that I can see a lot of businesses taking advantage of in the future. And these are just to close it out. Here goes some advantages for Starbucks when it comes to the e-commerce is that it's extremely convenient, and it's one of those things where you don't want to wait in long lines, which that tags it to my third bullet point, is that if you don't want to wait into long lines, you can just click and process your order, and it will be ready by the time you get to your destination. So it's extremely convenient, which ties into there's no long lines. So you don't have to wait a long line to purchase your product or purchase your order or what you want. You can do everything off their website and through the app. It's very efficient. The efficiency has been very great lately. There were a few times in my paper where I discussed about how there were a few issues with the application, but Starbucks is doing a great job at responding to any errors with the application or the website for purchasing. So that's one big win. The application is free, and also you can always find great deals off their website versus going inside of a retail store. You can get discounted prices for things just by making purchases online, and it's not much tax included for making purchases off the website. Huge win for the company. And that's it. That is my closing on e-commerce at Starbucks. I really, 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 really enjoyed this topic and learning about this trend. I could see this being something very evolutionary and something that's going to probably be a common thing we see in the future for businesses to take advantage of. I really enjoyed this course. It was very, very fun. I learned a lot. Dr. D, your feedback was very, very beneficial. I was never lost. There was no ambiguity in a course, and I really love your information and technology. And I was able to do my survey and give you 10s across the board. I want to say thank you so much, and this has been a wonderful experience going over e-commerce, and you have a great day.